Great Faith Part 2. Yes, Hebrews. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 6. Without faith, it is impossible to please Him. For he that cometh to Yahweh must believe that He is, and that He is the reward of them that diligently seek Him. Our first scripture is taken from Matthew chapter 6, verse 5 to 10. Motivational quote says, faith defines every obstacle while seeking God. Prophetic word for today says, may your faith cause Yahweh to overlook your shortcomings and grant your requests in Yahshua's name. Today we read another interesting story of faith. The centurion came to seek Yahshua to heal his servant. Luke's account states that man sent his friends because he did not count himself worthy, while Matthew's account says he came by himself. I think I'm turned over on the desk, so the boss did not come back. And I have to remind her because she has so much on her plate. She has so much on her plate. She has been able to bring back the thing, come give me. Somebody up in the chat already. Alex. Greetings, greetings. Alright, we'll continue to read. Just like the Canaanite woman we saw yesterday, the centurion was also a stranger. In fact, he could be deemed as an oppressor because he was serving the Roman army that had occupied Israel at the time. Romans or Gentiles, they were not part of the Jewish covenant. Despite all of these, he still reached out to Yahshua. He did not let the seemingly disadvantage hinder him. Men may consider you unworthy for whatever reason. You yourself may even have a low self-esteem, but truth is, Yahweh will hear you if you can just build up enough faith to call on Him. Yahweh hears the prayer of all His children, not just the pastors. This story proves that everyone who genuinely believes is welcome to Yahweh's kingdom. The centurion understood the authority as seen in his speech to Yahshua. He himself had 100 men under him, and, and he didn't need to be presented for the word to carry power. He applied the same principle when he sought Yahshua for his servants' healing. He knew that Yahshua had the authority, so he could simply speak the word and his servant would be healed. Herein lies a great lesson for us today. Yahweh does not have to come down from heaven before you believe in him. The word of Yahweh, our God, is all you need, and you have access to that word through the Bible. Make it a regular practice to ask the Lord for a word concerning everything in your, every situation of your life. Beloved ones, you need to build up your faith to the point where you don't have to run from, from a prophet to a prophet seeking a miracle. You need to come to the point where you can receive a word from Yahweh and hold on to that word because you know the power it carries. May the Lord increase your faith through his beloved Son, Yahshua. Yes, indeed. There we give a thanks. Just finish read with devotional. This is our regular routine. A chapter a day. Keep the devil away and think. Pick up yourself, Alex. I said, thanks, Bridget. Okay, let me go that word there. Something about this. I can't make out that word there because it's not. Yeah, can't make out that. I'm doing great. I read God's word. I'm doing wonderfully well. Praise God. Yeah, we'll give our praises to the Most High God, Yahweh. He is good. Tucker. Pick up yourself, Tucker. Nice having you. Anyway, we'll switch from devotional and get into the newspaper reading. I know, but to me, I feel like a plague going on upon the TikTok, especially with Jamaican them who upon the tiki talk. Why am I say so? Say some party event keep on one Baraja shooting and who got injured and thing, your mic is turned off. What you say? Mic can't turn off. Mic must have a shots. When you plug it, plug out. Plug it. Must have a shots. At the wrong place. People them should have put the thing up at the top. I don't know why them set it under there. Have a shots. And sometimes when we talk, people still not hear I and I. Anyway, shots before. Oh, good. The other one, my gosh. 11 minutes gone down the drain. People themselves don't. Singer Ernest Smith hospitalized in critical condition. Oh my. Oh, Mr. Smith. You know, recover from whatever ailment he's being afflicted with. Go so go on. And so the mic turn off. Might never turn off. This mic have a problem with the card. It must have a shot down here, so. Can't tell you. Probably have a shots. I've plug it out. Yeah. All right. Singer Ernest Smith hospitalized in critical condition. Uh, well-known singer Ernest Smith is in Florida, hospitalized in Florida. His wife, Claudette Bailey Smith, tells the Observer was, she he was admitted there on April 7th and is still in the intensive care unit after undergoing a surgical procedure. Bailey Smith disclosed that her husband was taken to the hospital for a situation that had to be corrected. Smith underwent surgery 2 days before being admitted, and while the procedure was successful, he remained heavily sedated and placed on a ventilator. Smith, who turns 81 in May, is known for easy listening reggae classics such as Pata, Pita Pata, The PR Gunman, and Life is Just for Living. Those are songs recorded during the 1970s at Federal Records, where he was the main artist. He had another hit such as I, I for Jesus and Sunday Coming Down before migrating to Canada in the late 70s. Smith returned to Jamaica in the 90s and became a popular attraction on the live show scene. In late 2025, he and his fellow singer E.D. Robinson recorded a version of Pita Pata, which entered the South Florida reggae chart. Smith was born in Kingston but raised in St. Anne. His music career took off in the late 60s with Ride on Sammy, which was followed by Bend Down. A major breakthrough came for Smith in 1972 when Life is Just for Living won the Yamaha Music Festival in Japan. That success paved the way for other artists at Federal Records such as Ken Lizard and Patosh Shabantan. End of article. I could have him sing down here too. Just one dream, one simple dream come true. I would wish for all my heart would have to be you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, man, Ernest Smith sing down there too. I remember the title. Feet. Being back on mic, you know, guys. Mic at work. That's, Like still not give you anything for some reason. Because today is not the day for the microphone to be working. Let me just cut it up here. So yeah, could look closer to the phone and see what sound can attract from I and I. That's one of them things there, man. Okay, let me say the article. I was looking for something. What is international news? Something about new trial over Marathon's that being begins in Argentina. Okay, Marathon. Oh, okay, okay, the footballer Marathon. Hmm. Let's see for the right thing. Let's see. Hmm. Uh, a new trial over the death of football legend Diego Maradona began Tuesday in Argentina, 10 months after a scandal involving Judge caused the first trial to collapse. Maradona, considered one of the world's greatest players, died in 2020 at the age of 60 while recovering from surgery for a brain clot. Yes, fine, but it's the article. His seven strong medical team is accused of gross negligence causing his death due to the condition of his home. Convalescence. He died of heart failure and acute pulmonary edema condition where fuel accumulates in the lungs 2 weeks after going under the knife and enduring hours of agony, according to forensic experts. 2 months into the first trial last year, after hours of sometimes tearful testimony from witnesses, including Maradona's children, the proceedings were thrown into flux by revelation involving one of the three judges. The judge, Tia McIntyre, was discovered to have taken part in a documentary about the case, which contained unauthorized recordings made inside the courtroom. Wow. The trial was annulled over the scandal. The new trial, which we'll hear from some 120 witnesses, will again seek to determine if Maradona's medical team is responsible for his death. Maradona's daughters Demma and Jenna. Then also his former partner were present in the packed courtroom in. Mhm. All right, we will leave it right here. So they want justice for Maradona. Yes, indeed. Travel over land, travel over sea. What is now Peter Champagny? Begins by Javier Ambassador after a big wall shooting incident. King's Counsel Peter Champagny has confirmed that he has been retained as legal counsel for popular producer and manager Javel Ambassador, who is presently in police custody following a shooting incident at a carnival event on Sunday. Note is taken of various commentaries being made on a number of social media platforms which are rooted in conjecture or facts for the assertion. The relevant concern and consideration must be for the police investigation to go unimpeded without the undue influence, Champagne told the Observer on Tuesday. Champagne expressed confidence that even with the wide conjuncture in the court of public opinion, his client will be vindicated. Mr. Morrison is confident that at the end of such an investigation process, he will be vindicated, he added. Morrison has been detained in connection with his role in an incident involving popular blogger Mhm. James Frass Richards at the Big Wall Carnival party during which three persons, one of whom is a US citizen, were shot and injured. One of the injured persons is a member of the entourage of dancehall artist 450 who was critically injured but survived the attack. The other was Richards. End of article. Alrighty, let's highlight the news headline. It says US doesn't have time for Ukraine because of Iran war. Berlin, Germany. Ukrainian President Zelensky on Tuesday told a German broadcaster that US peace negotiations have no time for Ukraine because of the war in Iran and bemoaned disruption of delivery of US arms. Zelensky told public broadcaster ZDF that Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, who help, have helped broke talks with Moscow on ending Russia's war on Ukraine, were consistently in talks with Iran at the moment. During the peer, as Primonik Zelensky said, they were trying to get more attention from Putin in order to end the war. But if the United States does not put pressure on Putin and only engages in a gentle dialogue with Russia's, then they will no longer be afraid, he said. US led talks to end Europe's deadliest conflict since World War II has stalled since the war on Iran erupted in February 28th, and Russia and Ukraine negotiations have not met since February in Geneva. Zelensky said the issue of deliveries to US arms to Ukraine has become a big problem. Well, Mina, I see you. If the war goes on, there will be less arms for Ukraine. It's critical, especially in materials for air defense, he said. Zelensky later told a press conference during a visit to Norway that this was especially a problem for Pakchi interceptor missiles as well as a PAC-2 missiles. My gosh, peer war implements the Magda about. He said these are primarily brought through the PURL program, which was launched last year and allows Ukraine to receive US equipment financed by European countries. At the very beginning of the war in the Middle East, we understood that we have some challenge, Zelensky said. Zelensky said deliveries came slowly. Nothing was nothing. It was a very difficult position for us. Zelensky made the comment alongside Norwegian Prime Minister Jonas Gura store, with two leaders announcing that they had signed a joint declaration on enhanced defense and security cooperation. The Norwegian government said in a statement that countries wish to facilitate closer cooperation between the Norwegian and Ukraine defense industries, and that Ukraine drones will now be manufactured in Norway. Earlier on Tuesday, Zelensky led the government declaration to Berlin, where they met Chancellor Frederick and key ministers to discuss Ukraine's war against Russia, now in its fifth year. The two countries also announced a strategic partnership centered on defense. End of article. Hmm. See me not loading up the screen with emojis. Just like and done. Emojis, emojis, emojis. Yeah, because we're going, yes, sir. We not stop till we hear something outside. Yeah, we hear about something outside, of course. Travel over land, travel over sea. Yes. Mm-hmm. Change eye position and thing. What else me go and read me newspaper segment here. Mm-hmm. US 15 million is enough for fans, says owners. What is fast? When politicians use um, to ensure a broader range of projects with more participants, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has announced that the facilitated acceleration of strategic transformation FAST fast. The, the complementary body to the National Reconstruction and Resilience Authority NARA will facilitate projects of US 15 million, 2.4 billion. During his budget presentation in March, the Prime Minister has announced a minimum requirement of US 150 million, or, or 24 billion. Okay, the above when we read a while ago, it was supposed to be 15 US 15 million, 2.4 billion. Wow. Okay. He announced the change on Tuesday as he opened the debate on the bill that will establish NARA, the, bo- the body that will drive reconstruction efforts post Hurricane Melissa, while undertaking major projects such as Kingston pub, the new Kingston Public Hospital expansion of the Brenham Field Airport, and the proposed government campus at Era Circle. After careful reflection on the investment landscape and the scale of private capital the government would need to crowd in, we have decided to lower the fast Jamaica investment threshold from US 150 million to 15 million. This is a deliberate decision to widen the door for resurgence at US 15 million, a broader universe of strategic investors, local, regional, diaspora, international, can qualify for the fast pathway. Only told the host as he opened the debate. Imagine 100 projects at that threshold. That's US 1.5 billion of private investment mobilized at speed, creating jobs, building capacity, and driving economic expansion across every region of the island, he added. The Prime Minister also noted that design strategic investment projects on the FAST Jamaica will create a dedicated pathway to fast track private sector led strategic investment projects. He pointed out that NARA will not be responsible for their delivery but will play a major role in streamlining the overall process. NARA will provide the power of expedition, coordinating across agencies, accelerating regulatory approvals, and compressing the enabling environment that a strategic investor needs to commit and commits capital and commence execution, said Holness. According to the Prime Minister, there are many projects sitting with various approval bodies, various municipalities on the desk of various ministries, just waiting for a signature to approve, waiting for a yes or a no. Once you make that US 15 million threshold, you can apply to be under fast. You will get your yes or your no. You will get your approval. You will get your permit, and you will be coordinated into the fast ecosystem administered by NARA. He said the Prime Minister urged the fast Jamaica address to address a problem he that has cost Jamaica dearly for far too long. Too many promising transformational private sector investment that would create thousands of jobs, generate significant tax revenue, and reshape our economic geography have gone elsewhere. They have gone to countries that are simply more nimble, countries that can say yes to strategic investors in weeks or months, not years, he said. All is also sought to assure the accountability will be, sacrifice for speed, will not be sacrificed for speed. On the contrary, NARA will operate with a level of management discipline, transparency, and public reports that has not previously been applied to government infrastructure delivery at this scale, he boasted. The Prime Minister said the recently created Jamaica Reconstruction and Resilience Oversight Committee, JAMROC, which will operate in a similar fashion to the Economic Program Oversight Committee, will hold NARA accountable. End of article. Now listen what you reading, host. Nobody know they are engaged with me, so this is what I've been doing. You should know the style. That's why I mean, everybody's supposed to have a style. I've been doing this from last year, 2025. You know, my little early morning thing, my devotional. Then me do my little newspaper reading. Blessed one say, let me not go if he doesn't want to listen to you read the newspaper. He come, Blessed one came back and said, my horse, you got your own style of live stream. Keep doing your thing, scene. I thank you so much for the commendation, my friend. It is now 4:22 in Kingston, Jamaica. Hear the birds them a chirping. Birds them a chirp. And I give praises to the Most High God Yahweh. Everyone aware of what wanna style, yeah, man. So Charity always a sing for her guests. Welcome to my live stream. Welcome. I don't want to steal or borrow somebody else's style. Else appear way of saying, guys, everybody have a style. Koga have film like a thing when him speaking like an Indian and so forth. So that's part of the thing. Much love, much love. Mhm. Yeah, man, give her thanks. Blessed one. See that girl, dancing queen, young and free. New helmet standard targets road deaths. Mhm. Kingston, Jamaica, Sydney, 3D leads for youth and education program. JN Foundation says Jamaica is losing billions of dollars annually due to motorcycle crashes with unsafe and un substandard helmets, emerging as a major contributor to both fa- fatalities and the country's growing economic burden. She was speaking at the launch of the JS 374 in 2025 Jamaica Standard Specification Protected Helmet for road users. National Helmet Safety Standards by the Bureau of Standards Jamaica in Kingston recently urges positioned road safety n- not only as public health concern but also as a critical economic issue with far-reaching implementation for national productivity and economic growth and stability. Preference in data really argued that the motorcycle-related crashes are draining national resources at an unsustainable rate. She noted that regional estimates show that road traffic incidents accounts for 3 and 5% of gross domestic product GDP in Latin America. In Jamaica context, she reasoned that this translates into more than 100 billion annually in crash-related costs, funds that she said could otherwise be invested in infrastructure, education, and job creation. This is not just about safety, it is about economic issues. Pretty emphasized and highlighted the compound losses arising from healthcare expense, reduced workforce participation, and long-term disability. The cost of treating injuries alone is significant. It takes an average of 3 million to treat a single survival injury motorcyclist. She said, placing immense pressure on Jamaica's already strained public health system. Yeah, we leave it right there. So everybody have them style. Alright, Mr. Plumtree now. A long time I follow Mr. Plumtree. Mr. Plumtree is, I think he's African, South African, but he lives somewhere else. He not live in South Africa. He's still in Africa, but different, not in South Africa. He would give us the biggest of smiles and be in his live stream, and he would always encourage his audience to give him a thumbs up and so forth. All our have a different style, yeah, man. All our have a different style. My friend and sister Mina, she loves to dance, and she know when she do her type of unusual dance, it will put a smile on our faces. So she loves to dance, and she loves animals, especially dogs. Those dogs that are roving the streets in Nepal. Yeah, man, she's a animalitarian, if there is such a word. Yeah, the article are kind of long still, so we're not going to get into it too much. sinking sore at UWI. Hospital admits owes 40 billion in taxes and backtracks on claims missing files were lost to flooding. Wow. You see a picture here of Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Errol Green, Center, blocked by acting CEO of the University Hospital of the West Indies, Eric Ops, Opskin, Opsin, right, and Donovan Davis, Principal Financial Officer in the Health Ministry, during Tuesday's meeting of the Public Accounts Committee of the Parliament. There were more worrying signs of a long running culture of improper governance at the University Hospital of the West Indies on Tuesday as Parliament Public Accounts Committee continued its examination of special audits general reports into its operation. The PAC members were left stunned as UWG executive reports that the hospital owes more than 40 billion in taxes. Wow. And has no formal payment plan in place, all while operating on a temporary tax compliance certificate. Wow. UWG executives also backtracked on a claim that flooding, was responsible for the disappearance of files relating to several millions of dollars in contracts, and scrambled as they responded to reports that private company was was able to pay more than 10 million in customs duties on goods imported under its tax exempt status. Wow, 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 wow. Travel over land, travel over sea. I have to keep this thing moving, so I have to implement my little strategy man to keep my thing going. John chapter 15, verse 12. I will slide into the examine the scripture. Love one another. John chapter 15, verse 12. Yahweh's people love to help one another. Second Corinthians chapter 8, verse 4. While they, on their own initiative, kept earnestly begging us for the privilege of kindly giving to have a share in the relief ministry for the holy ones. However, at times it takes courage to do so. For example, when a war breaks out, the local brothers realize that their brothers and sisters need encouragement, support, and perhaps spiritual or physical provisions. Out of love for the sheep, such leaders put their own safety at risk in order to provide what is needed in such a circumstance. It is, it is important that we remain united cooperate with the direction from the local branch. As Hebrews chapter 13, verse 17 reads, be obedient to those who take in the lead among you and be submissive, for they are keeping watch over you as those who will render an account, so they may do so with joy and not with sighing, for this would be damaging to you. Oops. Elders should regularly review local arrangements for disaster preparedness as well as an organization direction on what to do when a disaster is imminent. Be courageous and cautious. Use common sense. Do not take unnecessary risks. Rely on Yahweh. He can help you to assist your brothers safely. First Corinthians 14:47, but let all things take place decently and by arrangement. For God is a God not of disorder but of peace, as in all the congregation of the holy ones. Yes, indeed. John chapter 15, verse 12. Love one another. This is where I and I will be ending this live stream sooner. Later on, I'll be coming back out. Take care of yourself. Much love and respect. Bye. Later.